And the speaker is Jalmari Raippalinna, also known as Jalava, and he's kind of Flash programmer guru, and he's going to talk about Flash demos. So please welcome Jalmari.
Hello. I'm mostly going to show you some demos because Flash demos are not so well known, even though they have been created for the last almost 10 years. My name is Jalmari Raippalinna. I'm also known as Jalava of EvoFlash, the main programmer for most of recent Flash demos, since all Flash scene kind of died. A short introduction to Flash. Most people still think that it's just an animation tool, and actually Flash is an animation tool, but the Flash player contains lots of scripting features, so you can code a lot of stuff with it. All the scripting came with the Flash 4. The scripting was pretty interesting. It didn't contain a real programming language, but it was like a drop-down menu-based template system that you just chose your features and then it generated the code itself. And when the Flash 5 came, the whole Flash demo scene kind of fired up because ActionScript 1 was it was very similar to JavaScript 1.0, and it was pretty easy to code. A lot of designers and Flash designers went programming with the Flash and learning about programming. And it kind of worked as a starting platform for many Flash demo programmers and designers. And then fast forwarding to the Flash 8, which was the next cornerstone, we finally got a way to put pixels on the screen. Before that, it was all vector graphics. You could have images, but you couldn't manipulate any images. With Flash 8, we basically got all the new features that we got today, like bitmap data, different kind of filters like glow, bevel, blur, all those nice photo filters, and also blend modes like additive blending and different difference blending and stuff like that. So it was like a gift from heaven for demo coders when you get additive blending finally. Before that, it was just alpha blending, and even that kind of bugged if you alpha blended too many items together. Then, about 1 year after, just when people were starting to get used to the Flash Player 8, which had a lot of new features, Adobe did the bad thing and decided to change everything, change the whole programming language, introduce ActionScript 3.0, which was a version of ECMAScript 4th edition, which was almost completely different than ActionScript 2.0. That means that about 70% of all Flash designers kind of dropped off from Flash programming in general. And there was a lot of advertising studios that were in real big trouble translating to ActionScript 3 because there was no programmers available. And then Flash Player 10 came out last autumn. There's still not too many productions done on that. We are releasing 3 productions disassembly in here. We have Extreme Music 64K and Real Wide coming out, if God helps. And it has really nice features like 3D matrices, pixel shaders that are done with GLSL variant, and other not so visible features, but you have like vectors that are typed and stuff like that. And it's also pretty fast. I think that's a pretty good introduction to what Flash is, what is now. It's almost like having a SDL put together with advanced version of JavaScript. So that's about it. And of course you have the vector features, but no demo coder never uses the vector features because they're so slow and boring looking to me. But let's go back to Flash 4. This is basically the demo that started the whole Flash demo scene. This is Pixel Engine by Esko Ahonen. It introduces good showcase of duplicate movie clip and timeline tweening. Okay. Yeah. Classic. Basically, in that demo, almost everything was done with duplicate movie clip. Like the particle showers were just one particle pre-animated and then duplicated to the screen like hundreds of times, and then bits randomly moved to starting position. So you got something that looks like particle effects, but really isn't. And also, all of those particles were just instances of each other, and they were pre-animated, so there was no math involved in that. But it still started the whole thing. And when it came out, it looked really cool. Nobody had no idea how it was done, and they thought it wouldn't be possible. Okay. Movie clips. As I told that that was done with duplicate movie clip. The whole Flash is basically going around with movie clips. Nowadays they're called sprites, but movie clip is an extension of sprite, which is basically an image container containing vectors or bitmaps, and that container can have another container inside. So you can scale them, all the child scale. It's basically a hierarchical skenet graph that has its own timeline. So each node has its own timeline. You can animate each of the timeline separately, but they all have same frame rate. And each frame of each timeline can have own frame actions that you can activate and then execute some code each frame. And then you can also bind to different events like enter frame and then run your own code each frame when it happens. So then when you're not doing demos, you can of course register to buttons like mouse click and keyboard handlers and stuff like that. But basically, movie clip is what makes everything click. And they changed it a bit in Flash 9. In Flash 8, you had like movie clips in one stack. Each of the movie clips had a depth value that you could change manually, and the sorting of the clips was done automatically. Now the new system is that you have just one array of movie clips, and then you have to organize them by hand if you want to resort it. So it's a bit slower. And also, before you could just say movie clip duplicate, and it would create a one-to-one copy of the movie clip's that state. So if you had animated the movie clip and you duplicated, you got the same state to the new movie clip. With Flash 9, it's not possible. You have to initialize the whole movie clip from a class, and you can't just duplicate instances, which is kind of sad because you can't do all those nice duplicate movie clip tricks anymore. More demos. 2 years forwards, we are going to Flash Reality was Campus, remake of Future Cruise, Second Reality, and it shows a lot of stuff concerning image slicers, which is a almost Flash demo exclusive effect that revolutionized the whole Flash demo scene, and everybody was talking about image slicers after 2003 for the next 2 or 3 years. It's weird.
Let's rock.
Okay. That must have been the crappiest 3D cube I've ever seen. It's horrible. But anyway, it had the image slicer. which is one of the cool effects of PlayStation 9 era. Basic idea is that you take any host movie clip or image, and then you make like 20 copies of it. And then you mask different parts of that clip with mask clip, so only small slice of the image shows. And then you animate the host clip, so you can create a lot of deformations, different 3D landscapes, like if you create marching squares for different heights, and then you make image slice of those and scaled and skew them a bit, then you could rotate it in 3D basically with each slice. That was called the 3D image slicer. And then all the lens effects could be done with that, but that was basically a reverse image slicer where the original image was in one place, and then you had different versions of the original image, and then you moved the masks on top of those images, so you could have the lens effects and stuff like that done by showing different scaled images in different parts of the screen. I haven't seen image slicer effect for, I think, 5 years or so. Perhaps I should make one again. They were really cool. I really liked them. Okay, this is the starting era of fully scripted Flash demos. Summaries here by Jalmari, coders Hannu and Blind. Blind is there. He's basically the one that started the whole Flash demo, nice Flash demos that had cool algorithms and stuff like that, not just copying the old 3D stuff and old school effects. So I don't know if Jaako's own demos have had any success ever. They had good ideas, but the implementation was a bit funny.
Summers here was second that year when we made it.
Yeah, this was. It should have won. It was. Yeah, it was name voted out. Okay. I had to remember to shut down all the tabs every time I run the demos because they start running really slow if I only have one demo available while running multiple demos. Let's see what comes next. I have no idea what slides I have in here. Okay. After that, in next year, we basically, me and Blind did one demo together. It didn't go too well, Scene of Life. People liked it, and I kind of decided that I want to make the best Flash demo ever, and contacted about all the Flash guys in FlashV channel, and we founded a new Flash group called Evo Flash. And later on, about a few years later, I think it was last year, we had like this battle between Jakov Lume and our group, and we were fighting like which is the better Flash group. And when we won them like second or third time in a row, second time, they kind of stopped doing it and joined us. So Jak is only guy in Lume. So anyway, and Evo Flash is actually, we were thinking about the name of the group, and there was some kind of a group name like Advanced Flash Developers or something like that, which was like a bit like an ASD joke. But then we came with the Evo Flash. That is like you fail at Flash. It's an abbreviation. And actually originally it was it can't be Flash, Evo Flash here. And the idea was to create effects that don't look like Flash effects because every freaking Flash demo showed all the same 3D cubes and 3D spheres and some pre-scripted particles and stuff like that. And they were all slow. So we decided to start doing something completely different, something that looks like demos, a bit more. And this was our first demo, Who Killed Travolta. And I think it's the first ActionScript 3.0 demo. It was developed with Flash 9 Alpha or something like that. And it was immense improvement in computing power. Flash ActionScript 3.0 had something like 40 times more processing power than the old ActionScript Virtual Machine 1, which was so great. You could do anything with it. It just had the computing power, and we were really stoked about it. So, now I remember why Summers here didn't win the browser demo compo. Just because of those freaking JavaScript demos that only had one cube and few crappy effects. And it happened again next year, and that was one of the main reasons we started EvoFlash, because we were sick of those same JavaScript effects that had nothing new to come bring to scene. They were just same table effects basically done, and old effects done with tables, and we didn't really like it, so we did this one. Okay, this is a bit less known intro. It's basically first Flash intro done for Flash scenes 32K SVF plus MP3 compo, because software synthesizers were not available for Flash during that time. Basically, they actually were, but nobody knew it because it was really hacky. And silent demos are a bit boring, so we allowed people to use MP3s, although the intros had to work without the MP3 also. I actually won with the compo, and I won something really stupid. Like we had no prizes for it, but we still had the prize giving ceremony at Icons 2008 or something like that. I think I won some like Tiede magazine, some old appendix or something like that. That had some illusions, like eye illusions or something like that. It's really silly. And it's still just windowed version, because full screen mode was not available back then. Well, that was the last non-full screen demo we made. We had new musician on that demo, Minomus, and if you thought that the greetings part was long, you should have seen the original song. It was something like 7 minutes long. And he actually said that I can't make this song any shorter because the song will be ruined. And I had real trouble making that part to work so long. Also, that intro basically defined our Flash demo's basic structure. We rewrote our engine for that. It was called Evo Engine 2.0, and it had post-processing API. It had modular effects API, so you could add effects to effects. You could add effects to effects and then those post-processing and stuff like that. And we also had quite advanced timing for beat syncing and stuff like that. So it was really easy to do the intro with that. It was based on the Who Killed Travolta's engine, but this was the showcase intro for our open source version. Then ADHD TV, really hard name to pronounce in English. It's easier in Finnish. We changed to Flex Builder 2.0 with this, rewrote the Evo Engine 2.0. Actually, it was written for Flint, but it was optimized to ADHD TV. And we finally got full screen mode, which was really great, because we could just render something in 600 to 300 and then scale it natively to full screen. Nobody knew the difference. In ADHD TV, I think some of the effects are as low as 200 to 100. And they start to show. Okay. Okay, it seems that it's a bit hard on this machine. This isn't any powerhouse machine. But the last part in that demo is really hell because it basically shows every effect for 2 frames and goes through like 20 effects, different effects in just a few seconds. And also had another demo running in here. So. I still have about 5 minutes to show, so I will show our latest demo released last year. This is 99er. I think we were only Flash demo last year. All the Flash demos have disappeared somewhere. Minority hasn't released something for 2 years or so. Lume is no longer. Puro and Exca has gone to Silverlight coding. And there's nobody else than us. We're just alone programming the same platform again and again. And people think us that we are crazy because we don't migrate to OpenGL or something like that. But this has its own challenges, so I like it. Okay, last entry. So when in doubt, use Bloom. We had a lot of effects that we didn't know what to do. We just added some radio blur, and it came out all right. Okay, a few slides left, a bit over time, but anyway. Future, we're still going on. We have a lot of, we have intro and stuff like that coming out this year. Perhaps for other parties too. Now we have pixel shaders. We can port C++ libs to AVM2 using Alchemy. Software synths are now trivial to create. 3D engines can be fast, and that's about it. I had some more slides to show about, tell about our engines and stuff like that. But basically, you can check out demos on our website, and we have our old version of our demo engine out there in as open source version. And we really need some challenge, like somebody else doing Flash demos that would challenge us, because it was so close that we didn't do anything last year, and really close that we didn't do anything this year, because it's just boring to create Flash demos by yourself. Thanks. If you have any questions, I can try to answer them.
Any questions? No one seems to have any, so thank you, Jalava.